Warning: spoilers for all of Star Wars The Clone Wars. Here I am talking about Star Wars once again. I couldn't help myself though after binging the new season of The Clone Wars. This series has certainly had many ups and downs. The movie to kickstart the series was pretty horrendous, and even the first season only has a few good episodes. However, as the seasons went on, the creators realized their demographics and started creating more storylines that older audiences could really get into. I would say overall the series breaks down into 20% good episodes, 30% bad episodes, and the remaining half falling in the decent range. Most of the best episodes come from Season 3 onward, and of those episodes, there are 5 storylines I think can stand with the absolute best Star Wars has to offer. Number 5, Mysteries of the Force, Season 6, Episodes 10 through 13. This storyline I can't say is the most well written as an arc, hence why it lands at number 5, but for the lore nerd in me, it is one of the best. This arc sees Yoda grappling with whether he is going senile, being seduced by the dark side, or if he really is hearing the voice of Qui-Gon Jinn. Of course, the truth is that he can hear Jinn's voice, as he has found the secret of life beyond death. Jinn sends Yoda to Dagobah to complete the path which he himself could not take. The adventure takes the story to a lot of weirder places, exploring the more mystical side of the Force, as Yoda goes on a spiritual journey, meeting with ancient beings with strong connections to the Force. Yoda learns to manipulate the cosmic force to become a Force ghost after death. The arc ends with Yoda in a confrontation with Sidious, though is unable to stop him. Number 4, The Shadow Collective, Season 4, Episodes 21 and 22, and Season 5, Episodes 1, 14 to 16. This is technically multiple storylines, but they go together. The first part sees the long-awaited return of a fan-favorite character in Darth Maul. His brother, Savage Opress, is on a quest to find where he has gone. He comes to a junk planet where Maul has found replacement legs in the form of spider legs. It's not a good look for him, and years of living only fueled by anger and thoughts of revenge have driven him insane. Savage brings the broken Maul to Mother Talcin, a Night Sister, to replace his legs and restore his mind. Using magic, or her own Force brew, she is able to do this. Perhaps an easy solution, but it serves its purpose in bringing Maul back into the fray. Maul's greatest desire in life is to just get revenge on Obi-Wan Kenobi for what he did to him years ago. So, Maul and Savage set off with this task in mind. They start to wreak havoc in the Outer Rim worlds, hoping to gain the attention of the Jedi, which they eventually do. With the two of them being too large a concern to ignore, the Jedi send Obi-Wan and Adi Gallia to Florum to stop them. After some flip-flopping sides, the pirate Hondo Ohnaka and his men help the Jedi in their battle and run Maul and Savage off the planet. In the second part, Maul forms an alliance with Death Watch, a sect of Mandalorians who dislike that the planet is currently neutral and wish to return to their ancient warring ways of old. With Maul's help, Death Watch are able to take control of Mandalore. This again gets the attention of the Jedi and Kenobi. Being a former lover of the Duchess of Mandalore, Satine, he goes in an attempt to rescue her. Maul is then able to get his revenge on Kenobi by murdering Satine right in front of him. Number 3, Mortis, Season 3, Episodes 15 to 17. This arc is another lore-heavy one that delves into the mysteries of the Force. Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan are drawn into a place called Mortis, a realm within the Force, where lives a daughter strong in the light side of the Force, a son strong in the dark side, and their father who is tasked with maintaining the balance between them. This place is so surrounded by the Force that each of the main characters see an apparition. Obi-Wan sees the Force spirit of his former master, Qui-Gon, who warns that Anakin could be tempted by the strong powers of the dark side in this place. Anakin is visited by a vision of his mother, which causes him great pain, and he remembers his massacre of the Sand People. Ahsoka sees a vision of her future self, who warns her that Anakin's teachings could lead her down a dark path. This is where Anakin's role as the Chosen One is put to the test. He has to maintain balance within himself, as the power of the Force on Mortis is a reflection of the Force within himself. As he leans to the dark side, the Son becomes more powerful. The Son, with his power, is able to corrupt the mind of Ahsoka, turning her against Anakin and Obi-Wan. After a bit of fighting, the Son gains the upper hand and decides he no longer has use for Ahsoka and saps the life force from her. He then turns against his father in an attempt to take his life with a dagger, but the daughter steps between them and takes the hit. Using the last of her life force, she gives it to Ahsoka to return her to life. With the balance of the Force now in favor of the dark, the father is determined to eliminate the Son. Anakin, wanting to help, is told by the father and then by Qui-Gon that he must look inside of himself. He goes on a journey of self-discovery and even falls to the Son's temptations, but is saved by the father. The father then decides to take his own life with the dagger, which distracts the Son long enough for Anakin to strike him down with his lightsaber. The father proclaims Anakin the Chosen One, and warns him that he will need to bring balance to the Force again, or let it fall into despair. Number 2. The Departure of Ahsoka, Season 5, Episodes 17 to 20. These episodes show how Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, came to leave the Jedi Order. The arc starts with a bombing at the Jedi Temple, which Anakin and Ahsoka are called in to investigate, since they were off-planet and therefore not suspects. As they investigate, Ahsoka sees how some civilians dislike what the Jedi have become, soldiers, not peacekeepers, and only care about civilian issues when their reputation is on the line, like in this situation. The true culprit starts to frame Ahsoka as the felon, and even manages to get most of the Jedi and the Senate to turn on her. This sends her on the run, and she even ends up teaming up with Dooku's former Sith assassin, Asajj Ventress, to try and clear her name. Together they discover that the true culprit was Jedi Barriss Offee, who had become disillusioned with the Jedi and their part in the war. She orchestrated the bombing to create distrust in the Jedi Order. After seeing the state of the Jedi Order and how little trust they had in her, Ahsoka decides to leave the Order. Number 1. The Siege of Mandalore, Season 7, Episodes 9 through 12. The final arc in the entire series is its best one. This storyline coincides with Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and sees Ahsoka and a group of clone troopers led by now Commander Rex, teaming up with Bo-Katan Kryze, the sister of Duchess Satine, to retake Mandalore from Maul. As the arc goes along, we get occasional updates on things happening in the movie, such as the death of Dooku, Kenobi heading to Utapau, and eventually Order 66. When Ahsoka and Maul meet up, he reveals Palpatine's plan to her, and tells her that Anakin is the key to all of it. This leads to them fighting, and then the capture of Maul. Once on their way back from Mandalore, the Order is called by Palpatine, and the clones turn on Ahsoka. Needing a distraction, she sets Maul free to create some chaos, while she attempts to remove the inhibitor chip from Rex's brain. With the help of some droids, she manages to bring Rex back to his senses. Together they make their escape while Maul destroys the ship. The two fake their deaths in the wreckage, with Ahsoka leaving her lightsaber behind. The end of the episode sees Vader visiting the wreck, where he finds the lightsaber, having a little moment to remember his former Padawan. Those are the 5 story arcs that I believe make the Clone Wars worth the watch. There are a couple of other arcs that could be on this list, such as the Clone Conspiracy and the Battle of Umbara, but these ones I think give a good representation of the series' most important parts. Have you watched the series, and did you like it? Let me know. Thanks for watching.